Have you ever felt like you're swimming in a sea of tasks and drowning a little bit more each day? Like you're forever playing catch up with time and those to do lists that just keep piling up? Yep, I have been there completely. Especially now that I am a relatively newer mom. It's like I said goodbye to just waking up and seeing whatever the day throws at me and said hello to complete chaos. So I thought, why not chat about this on today's podcast episode? It's a real life struggle, and I'm sure many of you who are listening right now can relate. What's up, you guys? My name is Lisa Ann, and welcome back to another episode of the More Than Social podcast. Today, we are chatting about something that most entrepreneurs, just like you, struggle with every single day. We're talking all about time management. Seriously, I can rant all day long about time management. It is a topic that is so interesting to me, but I get you. Running a business and still wanting to enjoy life's moments can be a real juggling act. And seriously, who has time for perfect time management when you are wearing all the hats in life and in business? When I got super crazy with life, I would spend so much of my time just trying to stay organized that it actually stopped me from getting the real things done. Now, before you start spreading the word about the bad rap that time management has, just know this: you are not alone in this struggle. Now, let me share a quick story to explain kind of my thought process around all of this. And I also don't want you to get me wrong. I love being a new mom. It seriously just, it melts my heart, the amount of love that I have for my daughter. Just looking at her, I just melt. It's amazing. But I had moments over this last year where I did struggle to find that balance between my work and being a present mom and having family time. And becoming a mom, I made a promise to myself that I would be super present in her life, especially when it came to all of her first milestones, which I mean, any single mom or parent is going to tell you that, right? But at the same time, I deep down didn't want my business to stop growing. I wanted to keep growing at the same pace that we have been over the last 8 years. I didn't really want motherhood to stop me from scaling my business to that next level that I have been working so dang hard for. Even though people told me I couldn't do it, I honestly was on this mission to be this great mom, but also kick ass as an entrepreneur. I wanted to not only feel like I was winning at life, but actually win. Now, I'm sure you're nodding your head. I can't actually see you. I'm just envisioning that you're nodding your head with me. But I hope you can relate to this in some capacity, whether you're a parent or not. Just you didn't want something holding you back. Now, it was definitely not as easy as I wanted it to be, especially in the very beginning. But over the last years, I learned a few key things that have been a complete game changer for me with motherhood and entrepreneurship. That's what I wanted to share with you today. So, whether it's motherhood, parenthood, or managing even another job, that's what I want you to pay attention to. Now, before we actually get into it all, let's get over the boring stuff. Let's just get that out of the way. And let's break down real quick what actually time management is. Now, if we were to Google it, time management is basically the art of planning, organizing, and dividing up your time for things that actually mean something to you or that you have to get done. Now, to pull this off, you got to know how to figure out what's a top priority, whip up some awesome schedules, and just generally make smart calls about how you're going to spend your actual time. Simple as that, according to the University of Google, of course. But let's actually get real about this. Let's really talk about time management from our own human experience. Google doesn't get it all the time. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you can handle everything that is on your plate and still high five yourself for being productive and being as accomplished as you want to be. Now, I mean, people all around me are all about time management. They're on a mission, just testing out different ways to really just crack the code to productivity. And some are 100% using tools like Google Calendars for to-do lists instead of being someone like me who's using this notepad and a pretty pen to create all of my to-do lists. You've got the people who tackle the easy stuff first, saving the tough tasks for later or down the road. Then there's the one who's really embracing that whole let's eat the frog vibe, knocking out the hard ones first so that they're just off the list. They don't have to stress about it. Now, if you're not vibing with this whole time management scene, like some people I know, here's my biggest piece of advice for you. You really should pay attention to it. Now, why? because effective time management really is that ticket for you for a smoother everyday life. Trust me on this. And it's not just about checking tasks off a to-do list or highlighting those to-do lists. Here's how I actually personally look at it. It's going to help you boost your productivity, making sure that you complete those important tasks for you. It helps you have a better work-life balance altogether. And I know that you agree with me on this one. Balancing work and your personal life, that is pretty much that secret sauce of feeling good overall. Now, it also sharpens your decision making skills. And although I am a complete type A personality, the ultimate queen for organization and planning things, I will admit that time management isn't just a really thought out plan. It helps you get clear on so many different levels. A big one that I feel that is really coming up a lot, especially over the last couple of years, is helping you avoid burnout. No one needs that overwhelming feeling that sometimes, or more than sometimes, running a business can actually bring you. I find that when you have a good time management practice in your life, it helps you spread out tasks really easily and helps you dodge that burnout stage. And my new personal favorite since becoming a mom, it's been really just helping me focus on everything I need to do and boost my concentration. No joke. When you know that you have a certain block of time, let's say around nap time, to get things done, you dial up your focus and you really get to work. You put your head down, you get to work. Now, I wish I didn't have to have a baby to really just take this time blocking aspect seriously, but honestly, this year has taught me so much more. So, if you're one of those people who are struggling with time management in your life, here's exactly what helped me. So, first and foremost, you want to make sure that you're prioritizing your tasks. What I found needed to happen to make it work in the best way for me was to figure out what tasks are the most important and to focus on those ones first. Even though it is so much easier and feels so much rewarding to actually just cross off a bunch of things on my to-do list, I totally get it, but it didn't work like that for me. So to make this easier, what I did is I started following Michael Hyatt's strategy of focusing on the big 3 daily tasks. Now, these are not your regular small tasks like folding laundry or answering emails. These are big chunks that are going to move you forward. So it focuses on the 3 biggest tasks that are going to move the needle within your life or business. So finalizing that full sales page or finalizing a full email campaign for a client from my perspective. Now, when I started focusing on these 3 big tasks, I noticed that I actually got things done faster and I was able to stop when I hit my big 3. Now, that is actually one thing that my friend Justin, who is the founder of the Skeleton Key Mastermind that I'm a part of, he taught me this. When you do the big 3 or your to-do list is done, actually be done. Don't keep adding to it, even though I know, yes, sometimes we fall into that ongoing trap of just adding and adding and adding. I get it, but it's easier just to stop. Now, another really simple move that I made that helped me focus on my goals on a larger scale was actually setting some pretty strict boundaries. I decided to stop having my agenda just slammed with back to back to back meetings. Honestly, if you were to look at my schedule last year, it's insane. I was on 4 to 6 meetings a day for 5 days straight. Think about that. That's about 5 hours on average with a very short break in between for meetings. If you are on meetings that much for that long, they're all about an hour long, when do you actually have time to work and then live your life? So for me, at that stage in my business, I was actually working a lot at night. At that time, I was pregnant, so it's fine, but whatever. But what I started to do is design my schedule and designate specific hours of the day where I would have meetings. Apart from that, that's also helped me structure the way that I want to live my life. Let me repeat this for you so I know 100% you just heard that clearly. I structured my days on how I wanted to live my life. Instead of my meetings or my clients controlling my schedule, I took back control. Now, I will be honest, doing this whole swap and taking control, it did have a little bit of mental work I had to do, but it has been a complete game changer and helped me have that good work-life balance and control my own schedule. Now, the main ways that I did set boundaries personally are by limiting those meetings that I was taking breaks, and actually learning how to say no. So, with the meetings, if I can accomplish whatever it is through emails or through my project management system, I will do that over taking a meeting. Or I'll have my team member take the meeting if I know that it's not a big strategy call that I actually have to be on. Now, taking breaks, this is a whole other one that's kind of debatable, but I am not that person who likes to be interrupted in the middle of working on a big project. I will lose focus completely. Even if it's for a second, I lose complete focus, and it takes me a while to get back into the groove of things. But what I do is in between each main to do or main project, once it's all completed, I will then go outside with my daughter. I'll have my lunch or I'll take a break completely just to mentally disconnect before I dive into that next task. And lastly, the whole learning how to say no thing. Yes, easier said than done, especially coming from someone like me. I am a complete people pleaser, which I'm working on. But if you jam way too much on your plate, you'll end up getting overwhelmed and you'll either start rushing all of your work and you're not going to get the same results if you were to just take your time, or you're going to hit that burnout stage, which obviously we don't want. Now, if you are in a position where you have a team, learning how to delegate is another huge tip that I can give you. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a leader in general, it's important that you trust your team and delegate tasks to other people that can handle it for you. This will help you free up your time so that you can focus on strategic activities that require your expertise and attention. It's not that easy to do, by the way. None of the skills that we have to learn to take our business to this next level is easy. I get that. But delegating is something that really I had to work on. You know what I figured out along this journey, though? Delegating is more than just tossing tasks at someone, assigning someone, hey, do this for me, do this for me. It's really about giving the people the power to handle the full responsibility, just like they were to own them. So whether it's in my business or if it's a part of my networking group, even, I had to do some serious trust falls without actually falling onto someone. I just really had to learn to trust and learn to let go and believe that other people can totally rock their roles. And that was a game changer for me. So once you learn to let go, it feels so good to just get that workload off your shoulders and focus on other goals that you've set for yourself. Now, actually, speaking of goals, real quick, are you familiar with SMART goals? I'm assuming you are, but what I mean is they're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they have a time associated with it. Remember that acronym when you're setting goals and deadlines for yourself, but also for your team. That definitely helps. Doing this, what I found, it helps us create a sense of urgency and purpose and help you prioritize the things that you need to focus on at that point in time. Oh, and as we are talking about it, let's quickly talk about multitasking, okay? I would say that I am the queen of multitasking. I am really good at handling a lot on my plate at once, but I will tell you that I find when I actually put my full focus into one thing at a time, I actually get things done faster and better. So, shut off those notifications, put your phone on silent if you have people calling you all the time, get focused and get things done in your business. It will help you have more time later. And keep the multitasking for other aspects of your life if you like to multitask. Now, when I'm talking about multitasking, by the way, I'm not talking about just batching a bunch of things into one task. I'm talking about trying to write emails or design a sales page while answering messages from clients, answering the phone from your sister calling or your dad calling, and doing your laundry and feeding your daughter at the same time. What I am a fan of, though, is batching similar tasks together into a big chunk, which actually takes us back to those big three tasks that you would focus on for your big three for the day. When you group similar tasks together, what you can do is capitalize on the momentum because your brain power is there. So, for example, if you're doing accounting, do all your accounting at once. Do your payroll, do your balance sheets, do check your expenses, whatever it is that you're doing for accounting. I'm off of that right now, so I don't really have the best answer there. Or let me give you another example. If you're focusing on client stuff at one time, doing all of your clients' pitches in one aspect for a webinar, creating all of their scripting, creating all of their videos, creating all of their reporting all at once. So doing this makes it feel like you're not kind of jumping from one content and having to get into different mindsets. You're going to see that mindset, you're going to stay in the flow, and you're going to get more done. And when you do that, your to-do list goes from having multiple little things that you're checking off to checking off big chunks at a time. Now, if I were you, I would also 100% start automating tasks to save time as well. Automate literally anything that you find that you're constantly doing over and over and over again. So if that's responding to emails, if it's scheduling your social media content, your appointments, doing data entry, just start paying attention, because honestly, automation is probably one of the coolest things that I've learned. Pay attention to what you want to automate, and I'm almost 100% positive that yes, we can automate it. And when you do automate it, it will boost your productivity because you're not focusing on all these little tedious tasks over and over. Oh, and you 100% need to hear this one. Please, please, please start using productivity tools. I know you might be afraid of unnecessary subscription payments. I totally get it. They do add up over time, but there are actually quite a few project management systems out there in the online world that you can use for free. Now, this will help you stay organized and stay on top of your responsibilities as you are going through your daily tasks. Investing in project management tools, just like Basecamp, so that's what I use within our agency, literally has been a game changer for myself, for my team, because it has helped us break our project down into mini sections that are manageable and set specific to-dos and dates that we want to accomplish them, so we don't get overwhelmed, especially when you're managing 30 or more projects at once. It can get wild. Now, before we wrap things up here is a golden nugget to take away with you from this episode. These tips that I'm throwing your way right now, they didn't just fall into my lap overnight. Over the past 8 years, I have been on this constant journey of just evolving and changing things up with my game. And guess what? You are going to go through the same process. So what clicks for me might not be that magic formula for you in your business. Just like what works for you or what worked for other people might not be my jam. It's all about finding that sweet spot that really just makes you a powerhouse in both your business and your personal life. Trust me, you've got this. You've got the freedom to really just shape your days the way that you want to live them, fitting in with the demands of your industry and your business, of course. But you have the ability to embrace the flexibility that suits you in your life. It is honestly so liberating when you get to that stage. Oh, and here's a little secret for you. Don't shy away from over communicating, okay? It is my not so secret weapon. I'm sure my clients will all tell you I communicate a lot, but being crystal clear in how I talk with people, so whether it is with my clients in my agency or with our team members, it has only made time management easier, but also has brought back the joy of being fully present in both my business and personal life, because I'm not saying the same thing over and over all the time. So, as you're hustling through, I want you to work smarter, not harder. But regardless, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I always appreciate you here. I will see you next week for more tips and tricks on really just becoming the best entrepreneur that you want to be and leveraging digital marketing to be able to scale your business and hit those big goals that I know that you are working towards. So, I'll see you next week. Thanks again. Bye for now.